Hey guys, welcome back. This is Lucid, and we are jumping back into our game with early age Yomi. It is, what, turn 51 in Ring World? And yeah, okay, so we cast Voice of Apsu some more times. We found a Lake of Living Water, which is a really cool, cool province. Oh, whoops, I accidentally cast it on Agartha's province. I bet he's thankful. You get, that was a mistake. That's one of the problems when you do control like monthly casting of site searching rituals. But it's really cool. You can get, it triggers an event chain, which can end up giving you +1 in water paths. And it can also give you water elementals. So pretty cool. Horror's coming in, attacking some PD. We found a Mercury Pond here, which 2 water gems, very nice. And then we have some battles. Let's go watch these. Most of these are Lanka. Thing is, Lanka has more armies, and he has more thugs. So he is going to be having most of the battles. Okay, flight, attack rear. Okay. Dakini doing the same thing. We haven't really looked at Dakini. Let's talk about Dakini. As a Lanka player myself, and I've talked with Zarya, who's playing Lanka, a fair amount about my thoughts. So Dakini, first of all, Lanka got nerfed pretty heavily from Dominions 4 to 5. Dakini now costs significantly more. They're still a good value, but they're more expensive, so they don't have upkeep. They're great blood hunters. They were so cheap in Dominions 4, you could potentially switch to using them as blood hunters, because they're really high blood. And you can basically get completely on a blood economy with Dakini. You can still do that in 5, but they're more expensive. You kind of want to use them, and you don't want them to die as much. They're really good. You just... Basically, they're expensive enough now where you still want to get them. You just want to be a little more cautious with them. But they can cloud trapeze. They can do also. They're really strong blood mages. They can do a ton of nasty stuff. The other thing we're doing, and we're not seeing it because it's my turns, is Lanka is paving the way for our troops with Wrath of Pazuzu, and we'll talk about that. But basically, it's an air blood spell which causes unrest in a province, which doesn't normally matter that much unless you're trying to like unrest lock down a capital or something. But when you're fighting with Yomi or Lanka, who have chaos power, you really, really, really want... Okay, now we're about to make a mistake, I think. We're casting End of Weakness, but I think I forget we're fighting Lanka. I mean, we're fighting Abyssia, who has Fire Shield. Okay, so we got Mass Flight off. His little flying birds are going to get deleted. And in run our Oni. Did they get a strength buff? Does not look like it. And it looks like Chaos Power is not active. So, there's a few things that are kind of wrong with this. One is we don't have Chaos Power. And the second is... did we cast Mass Protection? Oh, thank God we haven't. Okay. Yeah, we didn't do End of Weakness, which is the mass protection thing, so that's good. There's another problem, is you can see a lot of our Oni are flying away. Now our big Oni are running in, and these guys hit a lot harder, so they're going to go through the Abyssian armor a lot better. But that first round was mostly... I can't script them to attack rear, which is kind of sad. But that first round mostly engaged in combat, and then they kind of died. Not died, they ran. They went to their spirit form and then they ran away. Now we've made it about through the burning ones, and now it's just these other guys left. There's a few burning ones left. You can see they're pretty scary. He's got... I think he's... Did he do mass protection on them? He has some kind of protection buff. Okay, no, he's got Iron Warriors on some of these guys. I don't think he got Army of Gold or anything. No, he didn't. Okay, and then our flying Oni kind of run in and kill everybody. So that was actually pretty close, largely because our first round of Oni kind of melted, and we didn't do strength buffs, and we weren't fighting in Chaos Power. So there were a lot of things that went wrong, but as a net effect, you know, we lost the Mount King, we lost 170 troops, but he lost everything. And this was like it going badly for us. Like, this went really bad. There's other things we need to do, and I think it's like, okay, I don't know how to play Yomi, really. I'm kind of learning as we go, but by the end of this, I think I'm going to have a much better idea of how to play Yomi. And one of the major problems in this fight was these guys running, because they have shitty morale. They have 9 morale, right? And then we don't really have great commanders. Like, this guy's not a great commander. He's not giving him a morale bonus. So this is one of the puzzles we're going to have to figure out, is how do we not have this... I mean, it could have gone way better, is what I'm trying to say. Like, let me explain how much better it could have gone. We'll go look at the battle again. I thought we did do Strength of Giants. Okay, we did do some. So, like, these guys got Strength of Giants cast on them, so they're Strength 14. But let's look at, like, the people who didn't. Okay, so if we were in Chaos Power 3, like if we were in Turmoil 3 or whatever, we would have 13 Strength, right, which would be kicked up to 17 if we had that, which would mean we're doing 20 damage attacks, which is high. 13 kind of sucks. 20 is high, so we could potentially be doing 20 damage, which is a big deal. And then our attack and defense would be 13 and 15 rather than 11 and 12, which makes a big difference. Because these guys at 15, they're going to dodge like half of the attacks, whereas right now they're going to get hit by most all of them. And then the attack skill is not going to matter that much because they don't really have any defense, but mostly it's the strength, because we're having I mean, we'll just pull up the detailed battle report real quick. Ko-Oni hit Burning One in the leg with the club for 0 points of damage. Damage roll of 17 plus 5 versus protection roll of 20 plus 3 equals 0 points of damage. Okay? So, basically, we didn't do anything. We got hit by a fire shield. It didn't yeah. So, we're not over the damage threshold, so we kind of were just... Our first wave was just melting to their fire shield, is basically what happened. Okay, so that was this attack. Roos is attacking us in the same province, but only with like a couple dudes, so these guys are just gonna die. Okay. We have a battle between Lanka and Abyssia. Just a commander. Oh, but the commander kills one of his mages. That's kind of funny. Okay, I do not see this going well for Lanka. I don't know what he's got planned. Oh, Swarm, it could work. Could work. Rain. Some imps coming out to disrupt their formation. Bugs coming up to further disrupt. This guy got decayed. He's basically dead. More Swarm. These guys look like they're buffing up to run in and have some fun. And they are very killy thugs. Yeah, these are thugs with just kill shit gear on, and there's enough of them where they're gonna kill everybody. Is this guy gonna run into? Oh yeah, he is. Okay, here come the thugs. They've killed the guy in the back, which means Abyssia's routing now, and now these flying thugs are gonna jump around and murder everything. Okay, so that looks like it went pretty damn well for Lanka. Lost nothing, killed 18 burning ones. And now I think the damage is done. So, while it's been a very clumsy war, I think we have now done irrecoverable damage to to Abyssia. We've got... we took big losses here, right? Which is kind of annoying. But in truth, I think we've done enough damage. Like, I think we've killed enough Burning Ones now where he just doesn't really have any left. Whereas our roster is much deeper. We see a big, scary Agarthan army here, which potentially could come attack us. I think we still have a nap with them. But fortunately for us, our Oni Pit is doing pretty good right here. We're going to go ahead and take these guys and move them off, but as we move them off, we're going to move a much bigger army in. I think I have End of Weakness on this army, which is going to be a mistake. Alex McGee, you were going to come down here, and I can't remember what's going to happen. I can't remember if we're just thugging in this direction. But so Tylus is here, so Tylus is going to go sit on top of this fort, and he is equipped with kind of the right bless. He can deal with even devils that pop out, is what I'm trying to say. Alex McGee, I guess you're going to come down here and just lock down the outside in case something bad happens, which is a bit of a weird move. So not totally sure. And the global situation is something we also need to talk about. We've got Eternal Pyre and Earthblood Deepwell, which is getting us a pretty healthy income, and it's highly likely people have tried to dispel them already. But we've put so much into them that it's going to be really hard for them to do that. We have a ton of fire gems. I'm not sure how we're going to use it. We might actually just alchemize them, and I don't think we've started doing that yet, but there's a good chance we're going to. We're blood hunting. We have a decent blood bank, though we don't really have a way to use it yet. We're running up to Alt 9. Alt 9 is going to be sick for us, especially if we're fighting Abyssia. We can't really use our mass protection thing, which is normally pretty good, but Alt 9 is going to make it everything better. We're blood hunting here with this guy too while we're patrolling, so we've kind of got a little blood economy going. We are probably going to go for vampires. When your income is so shitty, there's a big incentive to go for a blood economy, which, honestly, yeah. Might not be bad to put on your Pretender and, do an Awake Blood Hunter. I know it's, super weird, and it's very different than this, but it may not be a bad idea. I could think of some kind of cool builds like that. Okay, so I think that's it. Oh, we've also cast Ritual of Returning. So Kinmoto, I know you died earlier, but you're back with us now, big dog. When you do this on a size 4 and above, you get a giant mummy, which is pretty sick. These guys are actually legit good. Let's look at the Hall of Fame. Let's see if we've got any more dudes we could do it on. Here's Kinmoto, so we've already brought him back. There's really nobody else at the moment. Kenichi, by the way, you're at the top dog. You're number 1. Coming down, we've got Baki next. Baki is a buffer, though, so don't know how far he's going to go. Wade Starr is right after that. I think he's just sitting around researching. He's not actually fighting. Is he fighting? I guess I can't click on him and find out where he is. But that's it. Hopefully we'll have more Dione entering the Hall of Fame shortly. Okay, so I think we'll go ahead and pull up the next turn, which is turn 52. Okay, here we go. Voice of Apsu. Voice of Apsu. We're summoning more Shikomi. This is like the worst thing you can get for Summon Lesser or Sin Lesser Horror. These guys are horrible. They're okay if there's like a thug there because they can Mind Blast. And they've got a Stinger which can do poison damage. But unless you're like specifically sniping a thug where you think there's only one PD, these guys are like the worst roll. I mean, basically it's just the worst. You can get multiple of them. If you get 2 or 3, it's less horrible. But those are like the worst ones. Okay, so let's look at these battles here. So, Rus attacking Lanka. Holy shit. This is a big army, guys. Let's zoom out. So we've got a lot of Sacreds here. This is Lanka's big Doom stack. We've got a bunch of chaff out in front to kind of soak up evocations and things like that. And then we've got a huge amount of Great Bears. Is he going to do Fog Warriors? Okay. I think if it's a long battle with Darkness up and Wailing Winds... See, the thing is, Darkness is going to be really good. Like, these bears aren't going to do shit. Their defense is horrible. They're going to get hit every single time. Their attack is horrible. They're not going to ever hit. Okay, we've got Leech spam coming out on Lanka's side. Okay, there goes Fog Warriors. I see Gift of Heaven's getting queued up. I don't know where that's going to land. Ooh. Not sure where that was aiming. I think it was aiming here, but then it hit here, here, and here. Storm is going to keep the Devils from flying, so they're just going to have to run into melee. Okay. Doing equal damage to both sides. Gift of Heavens, the gift that gives and takes. We also have Fog Warriors, I believe, on Lanka's side. Honestly, I think Darkness may be kind of what decides this battle. Or Wailing... I think Wailing Winds is ultimately going to decide it. Eventually, these guys are going to fail morale checks and start running. I don't see anybody running yet. The thing is, their bears are not going to do anything with Darkness up. They're going to take a long time to kill because they have Mist Form and we do not have magic weapons. And some of the bears have made it to the back line, though. That's not good for Lanka. We do have Charm Animal coming out, though. So, okay, a lot of these bears have been co-opted. And the bears do not have perfect morale, I don't think. The demons have 30, so they're unlikely to rout, but the bears only have 17. Okay, Charm Animal. Falling Frost coming out. A few Falling Frosts right in here would be pretty damn good. These guys do not have cold resistance. More Charm Animal, I'm gonna kind of skip it forward a little. Okay, we can see them start to retreat. Is the whole army routed? It looks like it. Yeah, it's a complete rout. So, okay, that one time I lurched forward was apparently the turn the army failed a morale check. Okay, so this is a catastrophic loss for Rus. This was his Doom stack. I mean, this was both Doom stacks. This was the Doom stack for Lanka and the Doom stack for Rus. And, now, it's not all dead, it retreated, and we'll see if it has retreat paths after this, but... I mean, some of them are gonna die in retreating, almost guaranteed. And then I think... I don't know how many losses they took. They definitely took some losses. Probably more on the Devil front, actually, if I had to guess. Because the regenerating bears with Mistform are probably pretty hard to kill. Oh, Rigor Mortis is working too. A lot of them are getting fatigued so they can't run off. I don't think I even noticed that coming up. Doesn't say Rigor Mortis. The Rigor Mortis and the Wailing Winds effects look kind of similar. I mean, that's the only thing that's going to fatigue them out like that, so I guess that's what it was. Okay, and I think that's it. So if we look at that battle, Pretty decisive. Almost all the bears died. So I was wrong about that. A lot of the bears died. Lanka got a few of the bears. They got about 15 bears, which are sacred, by the way, so they'll take our bless. He lost a lot of his devils too, and then he lost most of his mages. So on Lanka's side, he lost mostly the undead. He only lost 2 of his sacred, so his sacred count went up. So this was an extremely decisive win for Lanka. But you can see he brought a ton more mage support than Roos did. He had just a ton of mage support. A bunch of the Raksharajas, a bunch of these guys who I think were casting, I think the Yogini actually were the ones casting Charm Animal. I think they were part of a communion that were doing it. Could be wrong. But yeah, very compelling win. And I think, we had kind of destroyed a lot of the Abyssian armies, and I think that was the big Rusian army. So they are going to have a really hard time fighting us now. Because we were fighting in waves, and that was kind of just like wave 1.5. We have lots more coming, but they just lost a bunch of stuff. It's going to be a lot harder for them to replace. Okay. Another thug. He should take that. And then we are attacking Abyssia here with the fearless Tylus. Can Tylus do it? Legions of Steel. Okay, we're up to 34, which is pretty damn high. That's as high as we're going to get, though, because we already have Iron Skin cast. Fatigue 0, high HP as the waves come in. Looking good. Now this guy, with even the Bane Blade, could be enough. Has he raged us yet? No, this guy's casting Rage. Okay, and he's just beating his way through all the Burning Ones. And I think this is like the last of the Burning Ones. Like last of the Mohicans, but for Abyssia. It's not... Now if this guy came in and started smacking me, we could be in trouble, because our defense isn't that high. Age, we could die to decay, is basically what I'm saying. But he's scripted to stay behind troops, so he's not going to run into combat. That's why he's standing here. If he was scripted to attack, he would run in. But right now, okay. Okay. And, yeah, we killed 9 more Burning Ones, which is probably more than he made this turn. So this is a bad time to be Team Abyssia Roos. Laka got attacked by War Trolls. We killed the War Trolls as we moved into that province. It's kind of hilarious. So that's it. And I think we'll talk about kind of what the orders we have for this turn are, and then we'll go ahead and go to the next episode. So we've broken through this fort. So what we're going to do is we're going to send Joe Jack inside. You've got a mission, Joe. We need you to go kill these bitches. And it's Iron Skin, Blessing, Soul Vortex, Legions of Steel, Temper Flesh, Attack Large. Alright, and that should work. If he does Fire Elemental spam, we should be okay. 15 fire resistance is enough on top of that much protection to deal with it. And hopefully we just kind of pound our way through whatever they have inside. We should be fatigue neutral too, which is always good. Everybody else, we're not going to sit here and wait to make sure that happens. We are going to be moving on top of this fort. And then we're going to go ahead and sneak Tylus away. And he'll be caught by these patrollers who are patrolling here, and then he'll kill them. So that is the plan for that. We could do move and attack. I don't know if it's necessarily better. Yeah, I don't think so. Anyway, that's just what we're doing. It can be better to do this if we're worried about magic phase attacks. That's a good way to kind of get a fight, but anyway, they can't magic phase attack us on a fort. For those of you who didn't know, if you magic phase attack somebody on a fort, your guys go inside the fort. I mean, like Roos could do it potentially, but Abyssia can't. So moving those guys up that way. We have another Oni reinforcement squad, which we're pulling up into the planet. This is about ready to go out. We got 230 here. Here we're up to 250. And this one we're at 190. So that is all good. We're forging more iron faces so I can do more cloud trapeze shenanigans. Because that worked so well with Tylus. And yeah, I think that is about it. Am I sending anything? No. I know we've got plans to take some of the other globals up too. Anyway, we'll see. We'll talk about that later. We're making a crystal shield. Crystal shields are going to be the shit for my Daitengu. They can cast Mass Flight. I mean, they can cast Fog Warriors at that point without being in a communion, I believe. Yeah, they can do it with just the shield. So that is something we will be doing. Though, if we enter a communion, it's nice because it will pass on the Power of the Spheres buff to my communion slaves, which I think will reduce their fatigue a little bit. Though potentially it won't. But it does basically make it where I can still roll with a really small communion and be really high in air. So that is kind of the plan. And I think that's about it. So anyway, with that, thank you all for watching, and I hope to see you in the next episode. Take care.